Today we've got sweet potato and apple. I gave the banana to the possum, which was a little bit ripe, so I'm a little bit worried she might get a tummy ache. I'll have to be wary of that, I think. It's Bindi and Melba. And the way I tell them apart is because Melba has deformed feet. They're about the same age. Melba came to me in August of 2015 and Bindi came in December of 2015. And when they came to me, they weighed between 1 and 2 kilos, which, if memory serves, makes them around about 7 to 10 months of age when they came to me. They had all their fur, the ears were up. So they tend to spend about the first 12 months in mum's pouch. Probably around about the 7th or 8th month they might start coming out, and they certainly would be poking their heads out and eating the grass. And then after about 12 months, they'll keep crawling into mum's pouch if she lets them. But at some point, depending on how heavy they get and mum's tolerance, at some point she'll eject them from the pouch. But as most people know, when they're born, they're only the size of a bean, essentially still an embryo. And for about the first 3 months, they crawl up into the pouch and they literally are fused onto the teat for at least the first 3 months. And at that point, they're not what we call viable. They're virtually just an embryo. And then after they get to around about maybe 400 or 500 grams, at that weight, they're probably still kind of pink. They probably don't have their fur. Their ears are still pinned down. But after around about 400 or 500 grams, then they've got a slight chance of survival if they lose their mother. But I've never had one that small. The smallest one I ever had was my first, which was Neville. He weighed 900 grams when he came to me, so he was probably around about 10 months old when he came to me. I have rescued a Pinky from a pouch from a mother that was hit by a car, and I handed that Pinky on to someone else, and it was only about 165 grams. There was no way it was going to survive, but she tried, and she kept it alive for another 2 weeks, and it actually put on weight. But the milk formula doesn't really agree with them. They can get chronic diarrhea when they're that small. If they're not taking in much milk and it's all coming out the other end, well, they tend to dehydrate and go pretty quickly. So the average lifespan of a kangaroo in the wild is about 12 years. So these guys are 11. So they're almost would be considered geriatric, but in captivity they can live up to 20 to 25 years. So the longest one I've ever had was 12. That was Norman, who passed away last August. So if I'm lucky, I might have these two for another 10 to 14 years. that would be nice.